How's it going, everybody? How's everybody doing today? So we're gonna be streaming for a little bit today, a couple hours, few hours, what have you. We're going to start with today. I have to do the roughs of this. This here is a commission for Monochrome Moose, who pops in the chat all the time, for hooking me up with this right here. Where's the lens? This little sweet little thing right here. So he asked for Spider Gwen. I'm not familiar with the character. I've had to do a little bit of research on her. I've seen, like, there was a time, I think, when she first came out, everybody was drawing her. She just got a style to her that was pretty cool. So we're going to be working on the roughs. What that means is basically taking this, which is like the silhouette, and breaking it down into something that makes more sense to put line work over. And then we'll be good to go. And then after that, most likely just be jumping back into our good old friend Jesop King. I was going to stream a little bit earlier today. Let me just put this down a little bit. But the problem, well, it wasn't really a problem, just a, a time problem, I guess, on my side, was that I overestimated how long it would take, which is stupid, but I overestimated how long it would take to prepare to get Jessup King ready for posting on all these sites. So what I had to do was go into Webtoon. Actually, did I write it down? Let's see if I remember off the top of my head. Facebook, there's a fan page. The Tumblr, which is the main website. Webtoons, Tapastic, and that's it. Oh, and it'll be on Instagram as well. Pardon me. So what I had to do is I had to go onto all those websites and upload the images all over them, and then put the publishing date. Like, okay, at this time, publish this, right? And we've got 20 pages worth to do on there. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up, especially when you go to some sites where it takes a little bit longer to upload, and they're not massive files at all, right? So got all that done. The only bum out is, and this is, I'm actually digging Tapastic a little bit more. The upload process for Tapastic, I feel, is like superior to Webtoons. Webtoons, it's like you can upload all this stuff, but you can't schedule a release date. So that means, same with what's it called? Instagram. I have to go on every day, and when it's appropriate for that page to come out, I have to click publish. Now it's not a big deal. It's not like I know I'm just crying about it. But the main reason why it's kind of a bum out is just because what if I'm unable to hit a computer that day, right? Then like what happens? And I don't want people waiting. So when you can schedule things in advance, it'll never happen unless that website goes down or something crazy, right? So we'll see what happens. No, I'm trying not to get too butthurt over the whole thing, right? Let's just keep this real. Should we do 300 DPI or should we do let's do 300. I haven't done that in a while. So all that's good to go. So there's no more stressing out. One thing that was kind of a bum out is what's it called? We have our final colors, and then I export those as like a final image. So if I ever want to do like a PSD or a digital download of like a high definition file, it's there. Then I also save it for web, which is formatted for Webtoons, which is 600 by like 10,000, or sorry, 1,000, something like that. And then both Webtoons and Tapastic require you to have what's it called? 300 by 300 thumbnail images of each page. So I had to do all that as well. So it was just added work. It's great. I mean, like, it's done now, so it's awesome. Literally, all the hard work's done. I just have to post stuff, so it's good. We're good. We're good. But anyway, all that was a long-winded way of just saying that's why it's taken me so long to get streaming today. So enough of this. Let's get into let's draw. Let's finally draw. So that thumbnail there, I drew at 72 DPI, which was here. And the reason for that is I didn't need a high-resolution version of this. It's not really appropriate. Now that I have the size we want to work in, I can just make a new document and go from there. Spider Gwen rough. And I believe we're going to do the line art digitally as well, and then I can print that out, and then we can ink and all that stuff. I'm going to see if I can get this webcam. Yeah, I am using the webcam now. I don't even know if it streams well. So we're going to see when I do some real life drawing. And this will be a great example and a test to be able to do that. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we have this. Let's see if we can turn it red. Yeah, you'd lose some stuff. So let's make a new piece of papier. And let's get our reference up here. Cool. me try with a pencil. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, here. You ready? You guys ready? Let's get disgusting for a second. So on here it looks awesome. Like I can see like details of my face. And I'm like, oh my god, look at me, I'm horrible. But I don't know if it streams well because I think that has something. I still have to look into the settings and getting it all ready to go. I think it's still formatted so far for like 720. So we'll see. We'll see. It really doesn't matter how beautiful my or how ugly my face is. Really, the main reason I have it is when we're doing our drawings, like when we're doing these, or if we're doing anything else that needs, like an appropriate webcam, as opposed to the old stuff we were running, Let's get a reference back. Okay, so let's start figuring out the shapes here. Hey, Matter, how's it going, buddy? Keeman, how's it going? Yeah, Jesop King will be full color. We'll go full color. I did a stream yesterday. It's not up yet. I don't know when I'll post it, but I did a stream yesterday talking about, thanking everybody for all your guys' comments and bearing with me as my brain is going through doubt and all that stuff. To be absolutely honest, just to reiterate on that, the main fear that it was really coming down from was the fact that it was so close to launch, and because of that, sorry guys, I think I'm just fighting something here. Because it was so close to launch that my brain defaults into going, okay, well, you only have a limited time now, so you better make sure it's perfect. And that line right there, make sure it's perfect, is the problem. It can't be perfect. Right? There's not a thing I could do to make it perfect. I can just do what's going to make it fun for me and what keeps it going. The second reason that it was, a bum out was the actual application of work that came from it, which meant if I can go into grayscale with the comic, can I make more pages quicker? Because the last thing I want to do is I'm doing 2 pages a week that will be posted, right? So if I'm only uploading 2 pages, if I'm only creating 2 pages a week to meet that deadline, it's a fail. It's gonna fail no matter what, because if I slip up once, I'm automatically going into my buffer pages, right? And once we go into the buffer pages, there's no going back. So you always have to be able to do more than what your upload schedule is. That way you can keep putting back in the bucket. You know what I'm saying? So that's another fear that was creeping in. I'm like, oh, can I do this and all that stuff? And the grayscale was the first thing that could pop in my mind of an easy solution. But really what I'm going to try doing, it's this too. Here, I'll show you guys. So when we're making our silhouettes, and I don't know why I never thought about, not silhouettes, or line art. And I don't know why I didn't ever think about this. I even remember Freddie Williams talking about this in one of his videos about coloring. So you know how we draw, right? We get this here. I'm just going to take a second here to show you. And we make this contour layer, right, when we're doing our inking and stuff, right? So as we start inking and all that, we're getting all the details. Now let's put a little face in here. Sweet, right? We got a cool face. Well, whatever. Put some hair in there. Whatever. And some rendering. Cool. So we got a face, right? Now, what I was doing is I would flatten everything and then make it just one file and then move it on to coloring as if I was giving it to a colorist. The difference, and this is the fundamental difference here, is the fact that I'm the colorist. So I have access to the files. It's not like I'm sending the file to somebody else, and that's why it's so small, right? So what I should be doing the whole time is this right here. I'm going to try this when we do Jesop King pages when we get to coloring, because this theoretically should save me a whole bunch of time. So because we already have that white or that white knockout layer, right? And the whole purpose of that is you can move it anywhere and it'll block out what's underneath it. I can just control click just like you would in Photoshop. I have that selection and just make a layer underneath of it, and let's say it's, I don't know, skin color, right? Once I get these layers, once I have enough of those, it's like the what the hell is the word I'm looking for? It's the flat, but it's the mask, I guess, that would be around the character. So once I have all those, I can put them all like in their own separate folders, like panel 1, panel 2, blah blah blah, right? And the line art is still going to be there. Whoops. Let's put that back on color. Right. Whoops. Oh my god. Oh my god. The pressure of streaming. So it's it's there. The next step that I always do is, if you guys don't know, you can remove the white from lines. I don't know how this is going to work, so let's try it here. Convert brightness to opacity, and what it does is it takes your line art and it gets rid of the white. See, so what's just happened is I've automatically just had fills already done because we already did it when we were inking. That saves so much time, right? Because now that I have that, I can make a new layer, clip it to the layer below, right? And, okay, let's get some hair color going. Right? Just like how we would normally color. Except the difference here is I've just skipped a step of that outlining of the entire character, right? It's already done. How long did that take? That took no time at all. As opposed to, and the flats in Manga Studio don't take time at all. They're quick. They're generally, if you have a simple line art style, it's insanely quick, right? No more do you have to do the lasso days. Those are gone. You don't have, you can if you want. You just don't have to, right? So that was my problem. So this should reduce, like at least, I don't know, like sometimes the flats on pages were taking, what, 10 to, let's check actually. Give me 1 second here. I don't know if I was recording the flats on their own or if it was just the color on their own. Let me check here. Color, yeah. Okay, so coloring's taking anywhere, it's about 2 hours a page to color, okay? I can guarantee you adding shade and stuff is the quickest part. At least it has been for me. I might be able to reduce even a half hour per page. That's an hour and a half a week extra. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is my fault for being stupid, because again, Freddie, always talking about him all the time. He already talked about this. He already brought this up in one of his videos, and I just neglected to think of it, and I continued to create in a workflow that was reminiscent of if I was sending these pages to a colorist. That's my fault, right? So we'll see. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That's the long-winded way of getting around what I was trying to say. I just needed to see if I'm able to create at best 3 pages a week. That sounds crazy, but the pages are going like 5 hours a page, right? So if I can even get that down to 4 hours to 5 hours a page, it's fine. So it won't be a problem. And that's great. That's all. We just don't want any stress, right? The whole point of this stuff is I'm not writing Shakespeare. I say that all the time. I'm not trying to wow people at all. This is just me having fun drawing comics. And if I ever lose that, then why am I even doing it? I may as well just try to work with a client. Not saying client work is no fun. You love the border though. Sorry, I rambled there. What border do you like there, Yanimal? Yeah, good old Captain Doubt Creeper. Trying to talk myself out of buying that coloring course from coloringcomics.com. Coloring is such a mystery to me. I won't ever try to take bread from another artist's mouth. So somebody's offering tutorials. I don't like saying don't do it. I'm not sure of the exact tutorial you're talking about. Actually, here, let me change this arm. Let's see if we can. I guess it'd be right. It'd be on the same plane. But coloring it's a lot of work to get better at it for sure. What I fear, and if this is how that comics thing is teaching, I would say no, and I'm not sure. Again, by all means, paste it in the in the chat. I'd love to see it. But if all it is telling you how to do like use the lasso tool to cut and use airbrushing or gradients to color, if it's teaching you this, and we will get back to work, I promise. Right, so let's say it's teaching you, okay, so you have that, and we're going to shade it. Right, so let's get a lot of the older style comics. Yeah, we'll go to the cold. They'll always work in gradients for the most part because it looks cool. It's a simple way of drawing, Whoops. All right, so we get that, and then it starts to show you this stuff. So we'll go here, and we'll go into some highlights. And they start doing the, I'm pretty sure it's called the cut and grad technique. So you would use like a cut, and either use a gradient or an airbrush, right? And you just sort of like cut them in. This was like the 90s. And a lot of comics still do this. I love the look. I think it's great. But the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is that this is what they're trying to, if this is what they're showing you, I don't know. I don't want to say I wouldn't buy it. It's just that there's so many videos out nowadays that'll show you how to do this that for free. So I don't know. Maybe if they're saying something in there that speaks to you a little bit, there might be something in there. I don't know. But you see what I'm saying? Like, do you guys remember this? This is the style of coloring that was everywhere, and there's nothing wrong with the coloring at all. Let's put the shadow back on there. I think it's cool. You know, you can come down here and let's get that juicy backlight. Ooh, look at that. It's always got a cool, fresh look. I love it. And it takes time to learn to just do that for sure. But I'd be looking more into tutorials that talk about. And if this does hit these lines, then I would say go for it. And as long as it's not breaking your bank. But anything that starts teaching you the whys of where you're picking, that's what I would start putting your money towards. Specific styles, of course, I think it'd be foolish not to buy those. Once you kind of start getting a general, okay, you know, like you can light a figure well, cool. Can you put them in a scene? That's when it gets even crazier. So styles like cuts and grads or like the simple shit I'm doing with like just a cell shade and you blur some of the cell shade. Whatever you can find that can kind of help you out. But yeah, I don't know. If you need help, I guess I could try to help too, or do what you gotta do, my man. Don't know if you remember, but a few streams back, you suggested I try out. Yeah, okay. I don't remember that it was you. It's Clip Studio Paint and asked what I thought of it. So far, it's really user friendly and I'm really enjoying it. It feels natural. I'm drawing crazy. Oh wow, that's great, man. Glad to hear that. I honestly believe, coming from Photoshop, that's where I used to draw all the time. Coming from Photoshop, at Clip Studios, if you're doing illustration, amazing. Digital painting, nah, it doesn't really matter. You can do it for sure, but I'd probably stick with Photoshop. And the one thing that I will say that Photoshop definitely has over Manga Studio, at least it has been for me, is like being able to edit images, which is what Photoshop is like about, you know. And I wish Manga Studio, I know it'll get there. Just had a couple more of those tools and abilities, like a simple thing like a crop button. Things like, okay, so if I was drawing with like if you notice, right, like if we turn all these off, right, and you're drawing with transparency, I don't even know like if there's a trim button. So in like Photoshop, you could go edit, trim, and bang, it'll reduce your image to this. Now, most of the times that doesn't matter when you're illustrating, but why it can be important is like if you guys are doing logo work or doing anything other than just making an illustration, and you want to be able to do it all from the same piece of software, that's where it's pretty cool. And that's one thing I keep going to Photoshop for. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure one day it'll go better. The tits are by Michael Russell. Check out his channel. He's got some really cool tips as well. What is his name? Michael Russell. Okay, let me check it out here real quick. His name was actually Kama. Okay, yeah, I've seen this channel. I've looked at a few of them. Yep, I think this guy definitely knows what the hell he's talking about. Learn to color comics, 10+ hour coloring course available at coloringcomics.com. Let's take a look. Oh, I've seen 130 bucks. Well, let's see what you're getting here. This is the ultimate comic book coloring course with 60 in-depth real-time Photoshop coloring tutorials. Okay, that's already justified the price. 12 chapters full of shortcuts, tips, and techniques. Awesome. There's a syllabus. Let's download that. This is what you want to know here. Okay, what you get. 10 hours of videos. Yep. Full set of brushes and tool presets. That's great. Big slash. Okay. Right on, right on. Use Photoshop. Clip Studio has familiar functionality. Yeah, that's too cool. Glad you brought that up. It's updated. So you already know. I'll tell you right now. What's good about this is he's already talking. Like he's updated it. You know, that's cool. That's cool. Do you need a tablet? Yeah. What if I want to color anime characters or cartoons? So like what I'm doing, this concept applies. Okay, that's good. There are 2 free lessons. Okay. Where did he say, sorry? There are 2 free lessons to view in the course with no purchase required. Okay, so if I download the syllabus, what is all that? Alright, let's shut this off. Look at it this way. Okay, so getting started for 20 minutes. Okay, Lineart. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so just showing you. Okay, this is the one that matters, right? Well, you know what? Like, I'm zooming past this because I understand Photoshop and all that stuff, and I understand why it's there. Some people they don't, get it. Here you go, right there. How to use the gradient tool. All right. Color theory. This is where, honestly, this to me is usually where like the breadth of value is because there's so many ways that you'll look around to try to understand this, and it can be difficult. Here we go. Okay, he's talking some real talk here. Color context when red is not red. Hallelujah. Okay. Avoiding muddy colors with my K rule of thumb. Interesting. How to flat pages properly. So he's got the business side to it too. Storytelling, good. Rendering. The layer via copy trick, lighting angles, cut and grad. So that's what I just showed you guys, the cut and grad style. Shells. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I mean, I haven't looked at it. Like, I would say, when you see this, a lot of people get scared right away. Is 130 bucks. Free trial. Let's take a look at this video.
Are you interested in learning how to color comics from
Yeah.
everything you need to know to color comics from start to finish? The course includes over 50 real-time tutorials and over 9. It also includes. And what do I know about coloring comics? Nothing really. So here's your instructor to tell you a bit.
I know how hard it is, or if you just want to work, for example.
All right. Thanks for watching. And if you're ready.
You know what? I would say go for it. And you have a 30% discount? Yeah, I'd do it, man. Hey, Monochrome, how's it going? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the crop is definitely there. You just have to, you work it. It's like everything Clip Studio does that's not Photoshop. It does the same stuff for the most part. You just have to get to it a little different way. I think Manga Studio should focus what they do best is catering to illustrators and comic artists. 100%. Yep. Again, I'm talking about nitpicking something that I find to be perfect in a lot of ways. So, but yeah, man. I mean, the course seems pretty good. This sort of goes into a lot of people ask about going to school and is it worth it and stuff. And a lot of time, we'll start seeing stuff like this, for example, that course, which is a great example of, you don't have to go to school to learn this stuff because there's a lot of really cool resources out there. Now, the problem is there's a lot of resources out there, so you don't know which ones are the good ones to get. So sometimes a little research gets you there. But just the vibe I got off that, I've seen some of the images, that image comic he did, I don't know the name of it. That's like all over the artwork there, the dwarf and the other dude, skull bashers, skull kickers. I think it's skull kickers. That sounds cool. And he was talking about a lot of things in there that make a lot of sense. Okay, so let's not just the basics, but like actual color theory and stuff. All good, all good. knowing a technique, I consider okay. I'll classify it as like that cut and grad stuff I was showing you. That's style that you can just do. You can do it to like get you so far or mask your weaknesses when you're drawing, right? But you have to find little things like that he was talking about that push you beyond that, so you know the why you're doing it, right? Like you could look at a comic book, you love the way they draw, all that good stuff, and you're trying to draw how they draw, but you don't understand the why, and you won't get as far as you could have if you spent that time trying to understand it a little bit better. So yeah, man, I would say do it. Look good. Hey, Pillowhead, how's it going, buddy? All right, let's draw her hands. She needs hands. I thought I wanted to give her like some earbuds. I don't think she can even listen. She's got a mask on, but from what I gather, the way everybody draws her and stuff is kind of like that. I don't know, like a teenage girl. I mean, it's Gwen Stacy, right? Spider Gwen. That's who it is. Exactly. I want to be a one-man machine like you. Draw ink and color. It's not as glamorous as it sounds. The benefit a lot of people have nowadays too, like just let's say maybe you're late in the game, Matador or anybody else, right? Which is there's nothing wrong with that ever. But there's a feeling sometimes you get where it's like, man, if I had the stuff you guys have access to now, when I was growing up, when I had that fire, that drive, it doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't. I don't know. It's like one of the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like regret, always living in regret and stuff. It doesn't work that way. At least I don't. I find you're seeing these things, you're coming across these things, but the habits are the same. The habits are what matter, right? So if you want to get better, you're gonna look around places. And you're gonna find stuff like you did. You'll find videos, or somebody will reach out to you with a discount or whatever, and it's up to you, right? Like you just do what you got to do. I've bought tutorials myself too. I've never bought anything that expensive. I usually buy like Gumroad tutorials and things. But I would be lying if I said, do you guys remember I was asking questions about the what is it? I can never remember his name. T- Todd, Ted. What is his name? He's Australian, I believe. McBurney, something McBurney. Todd McBurney. Todd McBurney. Damn it. Anyway, he has a how to make comics course, and the reason why I wanted to watch it was not necessarily how to make comics, but I wanted to see his process of making it. And there, to me, and that's another thing. There's tutorials that'll teach you practical stuff, which I think that video 100% does, and it covers a lot. It's literally like a course on drawing comics. And then there's the videos where they're similar, but you just want to see the style that somebody has when they're doing that thing, and that's what I was interested in. I was considering buying it, but it's like $1,000 or something like that, and that's always the reason why I'm like, nah, I can't. It's just too expensive. But, you know, again, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to secretly buy that thing. So I think it would be. I don't know. I just love that with the way the guy works. And he's got like a digital painting style as well. So he does a lot of he's done a lot of French art too. I think it was like a Pinocchio book, but he'd hand paint the backgrounds, not hand paint, digital, and then but he would do them in layers so that what you could do is you could just take those layers and put them together again for different panels, so you don't have to repaint backgrounds, which when somebody's worked in a video game industry or a movie industry or anything, when they start doing stuff like that, when they start reusing assets, that's in a creative way. That's the business. That's the business. So I gave her kind of a. She's hunched over, but I think like she's getting a little too hunchbacky. Let's bring that down a bit so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Schoolism, New Masters Academy. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Yeah, Anthony Jones. Man, I've been following his stuff since Eat Poo. God, that's going back. How's it going, Enzo? Trying to feel you, man. If this stuff came out when I was a kid, I would be on fire with. Yeah. Todd McBurney. Todd. That's it. Tim. Jesus. You guys are killing me here. Thank you. It's Tim McBurney. Yes. Todd. Tim. Todd. Timothy. Thomas. Alright, what the hell's going on here? I'm losing it. So I move the arm and everything is going way out of whack. So let's start fixing up some anatomy here. Alright, so go here. She is hunching forward a bit. Neck is here. It's this line that's throwing me off. It's not supposed to be there. Alright, let's bring that back a bit. Alright, I'm going to duplicate this. F12? Yeah. Alright. And I'm just going to erase all this stuff just to see. Should look better. There's just no reason for her to have like that. When I initially did the posture, it made sense, but since I'm bringing everything in a little bit, so her hand, I'm trying to make it so her hand looks a little bit more like it's coming forward a bit. There's no reason to have all that extra gobbledygook. So now she has no hips. See, we're losing it. We're losing what we had. Alright. Let's do this right. So we're going to copy all that. We're going to duplicate it again. Shut those layers off. Let's fix this up here. Alright, so we got the hips. The hips are fine. Right. So it's coming up. There we go. So what I did wrong there was I tilted the torso forward, but the anatomy I was putting still as if it was flat. Right, so like this kind of thing is where her neck would be. And then her shoulders should be coming out of here. And when I move that shoulder forward, it fucked everything up. So her shoulders should be coming here. Alright. So we really have to push this foreshortening back. That hand's really coming at us here. Okay, yeah, just send it to me, Justin. I'll check it when I'm done here today, bud. Dynamic Anatomy by Hooker. Yeah, those are great books. Have you ever seen Trent? Yeah, I've seen his stuff. It's awesome. What's it called? Found his stuff once I found Keenan Lafferty, his channel. I hope I say his name right. I always feel like that's not how you say his name. I think they both worked. I don't know if they still do with Riot Games. Is that what they say? So that means they have cred. Let's give her some boobs. Yeah, it's a complicated pose, but it's just because I let it get away from me. It's complicated because it's just the tilt of what's going on here. It's an easy solution once you reel once I reel it back and I go, okay, where's the form? What the hell am I doing here? What's going on, right? Because if you don't have that, then I don't say I was gonna say there's no hope, but you just can't come. There's certain parts in drawing that if you keep going the way it's going, it just can't come back. And it was getting very close to that. Might still be there. We'll see. I'm gonna try to cut the head out with the neck, and we're going to paste it up here with its friend. Let's put it red so we can see it better. Move it down. There's a lot of colors going on right now. Let's erase all that. Best part is a lot of this you won't even see. Because you can just put a costume over it, right? But it's got to be right. And one of the scary tricks of doing this whole thing, I don't know if some of you guys agree with me or not, but it's like, since I know there's going to be costumes over this, it's the gesture that matters, not how can you break down scribbles into something perfectly that's an anatomical replica of what you're looking at. And that's some of the problem that's happening right here. And this is why I need to draw more females in general, is because my brain goes right into, I don't have a proper style for drawing the ladies yet, so let's not do that, and let's draw them up. Let's draw them correctly, and then add the style over top, which in a lot of ways is good, but in a lot of ways it's just something I'm going to have to put time aside. I'm going to have to make time to get confident with drawing females. Because if I don't, then it's always going to be. You see how much work? To me, this feels like a lot of work. I'm constantly readjusting, constantly changing what I'm doing. And most of that comes from, well, it 100% comes from not understanding. It's funny because females are human beings, right? So the anatomy is the same. It's just a little different, but there's like all these rules that you have to have, or that are generally accepted as what you should have when dealing with art. When you're drawing females with art, and to be honest, I don't even like. I prefer to draw guys. That's just something that I've always drawn, and I feel comfortable with it, and I like being able to just explode the anatomy and all that stuff like that. But we're in a storytelling medium here, right? So if we can't draw faces, expression, anything really, then there's a bigger problem here. You're not necessarily being a comic book artist, whatever that means. All right, let's turn all this off. Let's get all this anatomy back. I think we're good. What is all this here? Alright, let's erase all this crap. Keep the iPad or iPod, whatever the hell this is. Android. Not gonna need any of this. Fix all that. Okay, so let's bring this back up here. Bring all this up here. Turn all this back off. Cool. John, have you thought about designing vinyl toys? No, that's not something I'm interested in. I do follow a few artists, or some artist buddies of mine that I know of. They do that. It makes good money. Absolutely. You can make a, I was gonna say a career, not a career, but you can make, some extra scratch on the side. That's great. Anything helps, especially if a lot of the art you're doing is what you do for your job. Like if you're a freelance artist, something like that might be a good decision to make money and all that good stuff. But for me, I have no interest in doing it. It's like even those pop figures, there's a lot that I see where I'm like, those are pretty cool, but I don't own, or do I? I don't. I own one actually. Is he in here? No, it's not in here. But I got it for Christmas. My brother got it for me. That was Leonardo. But like, I'll never buy them because to me, it's just like they're too expensive for nothing. That's just me. I know one guy. He's got a massive collection. Everybody's got their thing, right? Let me just see something here. How's it going with hunting? So John, word on the street is you're doing like pages and print. No, we're doing it in color. Don't worry. Don't worry. My sexy voice, eh? Ooh, nice. And draw some comics today. Alright. I'm glad you can make it. Okay, so we got this here. So we're gonna come in here like that. All right, now where I took the reference of her costume off here. All right, so we're gonna have that. We'll make a new layer and we'll make it red, and we're just gonna put the costume on. Does it go? It's just like Spider-Man, right? There's nothing. I wonder if we could do something with the eyes to make them a little bit like eyelash kind of thing on the side. I don't know. I don't know the character enough to know if that's like how she normally looks or not. So where does this connect? This connects to the side like here. There goes the eyelashes. Alright. There's a whole bunch of like spider web stuff in here, right? Okay, so she got shoulder pads. How do they work? They go up and around. How the hell do these curves go? Jesus. I'm getting like mind screwed here. Okay, so they go. The bend is towards her. So this comes, I don't know if you can see anything. And she's got blue shoes on. All right. What? Okay. Save that. And let's clean some of this up here. All right, we'll shut that down. And the background. So the background, what I'm going to do, obviously, 3D model to live in hell out of it, but want to at least put some structure in here. What the hell's going on? So I'm going to actually raise what she was on just to be above her a little bit. That way she looks a little bit more like she's sticking to a surface. Let me go this way with the perspective so we can see that side. Put some buildings down here. We do a lot of gray wash buildings down there, so it's gonna be, it'll look pretty cool. I'm gonna leave a lot of this open because I'm trying to put like the little heart shapes and stuff, like she's liking a bunch of stuff on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. And over here, just add some like she's the primary focus, right? So we might actually do this here real quick. Make her a little bit bigger so she fills more of the space. I don't, like if they put this in a frame, I don't want it to get too, too tight. Kind of bring her up a little bit more. Yeah, this is it's not really a commission. It's a gift for Monochrome Moose, who's always in the chat. He was gracious enough to hook the stream up with the beautiful HD webcam that you guys are able to look at me with. So, it's a little way of saying thank you for the sweet gesture. I'm just going to draw you a little something. A little something, something. Let's break up that shape there a little bit with the knee. Wondering if this is just getting a little too busy in there. Like if we bring that out a bit. We can still get the finger pointing a little bit better. Bring the knee back in. I think I like that better. tilt her a little bit more. Just so I can get more of her in there, you know? Maybe something like that. We can like have all the hearts and stuff down there, but we can also get like maybe some silhouette. Oops, let's get a silhouette brush. Right, like maybe we can put like some building stuff here. Nothing too busy, but just stuff to like break up that negative space a little bit. Possibly. I don't know. I don't mind it. Anyway, okay. Well, I think. Oh, there's a new Deadpool trailer. I'll have to watch that later. Okay. So I think this one's good. I'll just save it up here. So we're gonna be doing line art. I don't know if it's this week. I'll have to check. Okay, so I'm just on my to-do list here to tick things off. So 1 second here. All right, so the rough, we'll get that done. Let's open up Trello. Mark that off. Okay, we didn't have a check mark. Okay, cool. All right, so we got that. What else do we have to do today? We have to make a Kirby Crackle that you guys recommended to me a few streams back for Kirby dots. So get ready to be excited. Okay, let's close that up. Hold on. Hold on. I want to see something here. Something, I lost something. And the magic of jumping between. What did I lose here? This is better than this. This is better than this. So maybe it was when we were doing the torso, things just got so out of whack. I changed it way too much. Alright, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do the Kirby Crackle, then I'm coming back and doing this. Because this right here is better. I don't know about you guys, this is, you know, but this, there's better posture and energy in this one. She looks more spider-like. This one's, no, okay. No, not good enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and, what's that? The arc on her back must be crazy how she's doing it. I know, right? That arc. God, PG-13. Okay. For you guys, this is the tutorial that I'll be following. I'll paste in the chat if you guys want to make one for yourself. I believe this works. I don't know if this is from Manga Studio 5 or 4. We'll check it out. You guys, if you want to make one at home, it's pauljholden.com. Just look for Holden, I guess, Holden, and just search for Manga Studio Kirby Crackle. So step 1, create a new document. Let's do it. With a nice clean layer. Alright, I really like the way he's talking. Alright, so let's go here. Let's make it pixels. Let's do, I don't know, 1,000 by 1,000. Nice high resolution. That might be a little big. What the hell? Well, it's probably going to be too big. I feel like it's, whatever. Okay, draw a large circle about a quarter size of the page on this layer. What? What are you talking about? Okay, you know what? I'm going to try something here. I'm just going to, normally it's not this complicated. I know it's not. We're going to do an 11 by 17 piece of Bristol. He's talking comics. I'm assuming maybe that's language because he's talking about draw a large circle about the quarter size. Alright, so go to our straight line tool. Ellipse. And hold shift. So we're going to be cutting out shapes, I believe, right? That's why it doesn't even matter. Alright, so we can just move that. That's fine. Step 2, create a new layer on top of this one. This is where we'll draw our Kirby Crackle. Draw a number of circles within the larger circle. You can draw any number you like. Just make sure every circle has a little space around it. Let's do it. Ugh. Come on, computer. I know you can do it. They're just circles. How many circles you got here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's fine. That's good enough. Okay. Fill in the black within the smaller circles. You got it. Draw marquee around the small circles. Don't worry about covering the big circle. Okay. Edit register pattern. Okay. Edit register pattern. Edit register material. That might be what he's talking about. I guess. I don't know. Alright, what is it? An image? Brush material? What is he talking about? Image? Yeah, okay, so this must have been from Manga Studio 4, I'm assuming, because the language is a little different here. Alright, so have this, give it a name, so okay. Kirby Crackle 1. All materials, where we're putting this in. There's brush somewhere in here. There it is. Brush. I'm going to put a little tag on there too, just in case. Kirby. I believe all this is scale up and down. What does that do? Right, we'll leave that off. Tiling. That looks kind of cool. We'll turn that off as well. Alright, we'll hit OK. Tweak the brush controls to find the best results are from setting the size to alter and pattern pressure, of course. Yeah, random. Alright, so this is where it gets into the weird stuff. So now we have to make a new brush. Okay. So we're going to go to our pattern brush. Going to make a new brush. I'm going to call it Kirby Crackle. Pretty sure I spelled this different each time. What do we got here? Brush. No, I'll do pen. Whatever. Okay. So we've got that. Now we go up. Do we right click on it? Is that how you do it? Settings? Settings. Nope. Oh, it's this. I always forget. Alright, let's click on the wrench way at the bottom here. Alright, so we have to go to texture. No, we don't. Brush shape. Is that the one we're going to? Okay, I'm pretty sure I don't need to read. Well, maybe I need to read his stuff, but. So let's go here, and we need to change the shape. It's in one of these. Sorry, you guys. One of them will have like a picture. That's it. Okay, so click in here. Just open so you guys can see. So we're in the subtool detail. You're going to delete all these things. This is just a brush I made for brushes. So we go here. We're going to, let me open this up over here. La, 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 la. And remember we added a tag so I can quickly search, right? So let's just put Kirby. Cool. Doesn't show up at all. It's great. So image material? No? Nothing? Nothing? Alright. Nothing at all, eh? Is that the bottom? Show all materials in the folder. Okay. Trying to see if it put it down towards the bottom. So how you guys doing today? You guys having a good day? This is great. Do you have complete ownership of the content you put up on Webtoons? I'm not 100%. From what I understand, pretty much. I think it's the same as any other website you want to post online to. They have. This is the thing, and I just need people to understand this too. Okay, not the pros and cons of posting on these places, but whenever a company needs marketing material, instead of hiring out, they can just use, especially in these cases where it's art related, they can just pull art that they like from other people's uploaded content and go like, buy Manga Studio, right? And they could have my picture, your picture, something like that. And that's just sort of like the way it is. And some people don't like it, that's fine. But the cost to that, the price for that, is you're posting on a resource that already has established social, marketing, all these things in there, right? So if any of us wanted to make, let's say you want to make a webcomic today, and you're going to have your WordPress site or whatever, and you're posting something on there, that's it. You're still going to have to go in there and do any kind of advertising, promotion. Not that you wouldn't do those anyway, but those, get all your Google stuff, your settings, possibly internet banners, TV shows, going to conventions to have like a brand talked about. Where when you're posting on these things like Webtoons, they're doing all that for you anyway. So it's just another place for you to post your stuff. This doesn't address people that have those concerns of, I don't know. I just feel like there's this fear that always goes around, and everybody's allowed to have it. But there's a fear that always goes around of just like somebody's going to take what you have. The only counter argument I have to that is if you're scared, not maybe not scared is the right word, but if you're concerned that somebody's going to take your idea and then it's gone, maybe you're looking at it maybe present something else different to you. If what you're making is the best thing you're going to make right now for the rest of your life, then yeah, go ahead and make something that's just for you, like your own website, so you don't have to worry about all that stuff. Okay, buyyour.com. You're probably not. I don't know how WordPress works with all that. Figure something out. But if you're like me, and probably I would go ahead as far as saying like 98%, nobody knows what it is that we're going to do that's going to get us the most notoriety or what's going to catch on. The only way that people are going to know that is your audience is going to tell you this stuff. I could think Jesop King's going to be the most amazing thing. I could pour 2 years into it, and like a fraction of people read it. I do just a throwaway, let's say, Castle Dracula story, and for whatever reason, people just start retweeting, reblogging, all that stuff, and it blows up. And then they want to make a cartoon or a movie or a comic book series out of it. But I really wish people read Jesop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what it is that's going to be your thing. So I think as a creator, that's your job. Just create, 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 create. If it gets to that point where it gets so big that you're going to get screwed over by a company, theoretically, if you're at that stage, then you should have, or you could have access to a bigger support group of people to challenge that thing. So let's say Webtoons goes, "Your shit's so amazing, we're taking it," or something. And people don't take stuff unless there's a reason to. So if it's making money, then maybe that'd be a reason to do it, right? But if it's making money, then that means you've made money on it, and you're going to have an audience there, and you can be open with people and go, "This is what's happening," and go for help that way. The other side of it is, from what I've been hearing too, Webtoons is a little bit different. If they want, they will offer. If they think you're generating a lot of traffic and a lot of really awesome stuff and they're interested, they will offer you to pay you like I don't know if it's a monthly rate or a page rate or something to just be 100% posted on their platform, which is amazing. It's almost like a publishing deal for a webcomic, which is crazy. So, grains of sand, grains of salt. 39 people watching. Jesus Christ. Hello, everybody. How are you? So we've just hit a milestone today. We're probably going to hit 40 in a sec. That's great. Hi, welcome to the stream, everybody. Feel free to jam the chat. There's a lot of familiar faces in here. And yeah, enjoy the community. And you guys are all talking, all that good stuff. All right, we will draw soon. I promise you. I'm just trying to, on my to-do list, I've got make a Kirby Crackle from somebody else recommended this. But it didn't work. So we're going to try this again. Maybe I put it in the wrong thing. Let's just put it under all materials. So let's put it there. We're going to call it again Kirby Crackle 2. Maybe this is what I didn't do right. Right here, use for brush tip shape. That's what I think I forgot. The last one, it's just like a picture, like an image that you wanted to do. Kirby. All right, let's hit OK. Let's see if Forget like what? You cannot specify the folder. All right, it's getting sassy. Download, no. Image material, brush, sure. Let's try it again. Please work. Please work. All right, so Kirby Crackle. Wait, what do we have in here? All right, so it's just dots. It's not what we need. All right, so let's go ahead and click Launch. And let's figure out which one this was. Brush shape, right? Or is it brush tip? So speedy. Okay, let's click here. All right, let's try searching for it again. Let's see if we get anything. Come on. There we go. Kirby Crackle. Kirby Crackle. Click OK. It'll show up here. So I'm just going to move this to the side so I can still draw and test it. Ooh. Oh, he's cool. All right, so we got that, but that isn't good enough. We need more. We need particle size. What is this? Okay. Can I undo that? No. Great. Looks like a bunch of paw prints, like dog paw print. All right, so have that. What I'm looking for is pressure sensitivity, the hardest thing to get in Manga Studio. The gap. All right, let's mine the gap. Let's get. I like my Kirby Crackle with like not a lot of room in between, but we need pressure sensitivity. Okay, let's keep going here. All right, let's start back up to the brush size. Okay, cool. Wait, can you get it in here? Is that where it is now? Do you guys know? I know they added this to it. I don't know if it's in here. I'll have to check. Yeah, we're making a brush. Here, I'll post it again. If you guys want to try to make one too. I think this is for Manga Studio 4, but by all means, you should be able to do a randomizer. Thank you, Matador. Randomizer. Where's randomizer? Randomizer sounds like the best villain name in the world. You know, I'm writing that down. Randomizer. Sounds like a what's it called? Transformer too. Randomizer. Thank you, sir. Brush size for pressure sensitivity. Brush size. Really? Oh, right, sir. See? So in Photoshop, you can click something that just says pen pressure in plain, simple terms. Manga Studio, let's do icons. Let's do icons. So pressure, here we go. So if I go light, nothing's happening. It's great. Let's mess around with that. Let's see if we can move this in a bit. Yeah, it's not working. Did I lose pen pressure sensitivity? Let's try this out. Let's go to inking. Oops. Okay, let's turn all this off. Alright, I'm going to put my anti-aliasing way down too. So if I press hard, oh no, it is. It's just the minimum's so big. That's what's happening. Okay, cool. So let's just open this back up. And so if we bring this down, maybe this is what'll happen. Let's try it. No, not at all. Brush size off. Cool. Let's go all the way to the max, see what happens. Oh, I see what's happening. So it's like the range that it's going in, eh? So if we have a low, it's not doing anything. Yeah, interesting. Specify by size on screen, at least 1 pixel. Let's see all that stuff. It's the best part about this stuff, guys. Just click things. See what happens, you know? I'm not looking for the perfect brush right now. I'm just looking for something. We can always do this a little bit later, so we'll get to drawing in a sec. I know I keep saying that. Thickness. Turn the. Oh no, I need that. Brush density. Is this the? Oh no, 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 no. Mind the gap. That's what we needed. Spraying effect. Stroke the gap. There we go. What is that? That's gonna be like thick. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting. It feels a little different too. Because it's just like pouring it on. I just want a little thinner than that. Uh, Jitter? I don't think so. I wonder if we can do that with this too. Pen pressure. Let's see. Yeah, we don't want that. See, this is the thing. This is the best part about brushes, man. Like, you can make a bunch of different brushes. One, you just want like splatters of Kirby stuff, right? Like just doing this kind of thing over and over again. And then sometimes you just want like that big kind of thing, you know? You can always just have farting around with it. I like just being able to, because then you could just kind of like put dots everywhere. She's so fast. So these times, sometimes these, like I watch this. If I click in here, sometimes it'll give it like that, like effect. I don't know why. Direction, random. Man, I always struggle with trying to get it to be like a, you know, like with a G pen, you guys, where you can start like super skinny and just like, I can never ever get that. I can't get it. Brush size. Like you would think it's in here. Like just, man, make it fucking tiny as hell. Nothing. Nothing. All right, let's go that way. I don't know. Whatever. I got other shit to do today. All right, so we'll just have it there. It's fine. It's fine for now. I can always go back and edit and all that stuff. And I'm sure I could probably just download one too. The check marks and the brush option with tool property tab. They're not. Let's try that. Al Hassan, hey, how's it going, buddy? I'm pretty interested in making comics digitally, but have little to no experience in that field. Are there resources that could help you with that? I think that question needs a little bit more. Needs to be expanded on a little bit more. So, okay, so do you know how to make comics? Do you make? Okay, let me just back this up. Do you currently make comics? Chicken wings brushed aside. Oh, because I'm just turning these on and it's not doing anything? What check mark? I get little eyeballs, but I don't. Let's turn all this on. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's still not doing it. Sigh. The worst part is you guys trying to help me, and you can only type, right? So, and there's the delay. So, hmm. But I do appreciate the help, guys. All right, you know what? Anyway, I want to start making some comics today. We can fiddle with this stuff all day. Okay. Anyway, so it's there. We got whatever. Cool. Let's close this up. No, I do not currently make comics. I make a lot of art though on my own. Okay, so Oh right, I forgot we gotta fix this up. We have to start back where we started with the stream. So basically, what I would recommend, buddy, is if you want to make comics, make comics. I know that sounds easier said than done, and it can't be that simple, and there should be like an extra thing or something that you don't have, you're not doing. But it's as simple as that. Start making yourself, short 3 to 10 page comic book stories. You don't have to show them to anybody, or you can. I recommend showing them to people so people can see the process of you growing. And it's never too late, or sorry, it's never too early to start building an audience. Saying all that, you have the Scott McCloud book on making comics. Honestly, I think that's probably the Bible for making comics, so just understanding the fundamentals. Try to look at comics. I believe in the 80-20 rule. 80% of your time, if you want to be something, in art, let's say in this case, you want to be a comic book artist, then 80% of the time that you do and devote to art should be making the thing. 20% should be studying. So a lot of people do it the other way around, and I did it the other way around for a long time, which was like drawing anatomy from anatomy books over and over and over again. And maybe like 20 to 40% of my time was actually drawing a comic book page. And that's not a way. That's no way to grow. I know everybody learns differently, so you got to find out what does work for you. But again, in my opinion, I would be just continuing making comic books, and what you struggle with while you're trying to make it, that in that 80% window, when you bring it back to that 20% window of study, you know what you need to work on. So in my case, let's say women. I'm struggling to, like, God, I wish I could draw women better. But I still have to make it. I still have to do what I can do, right? I'm not going to magically level up just by looking at like a book for an hour and go, now I know how to do it, right? So I have to still push my abilities of where I currently am 80% of the time. When it comes time to study, and you have to make time to study, right? And it could be maybe 20% of your time is only like 15 minutes. I don't know. It's different for everybody. It's a variable in the air. I know we can't break time down exactly like that, but I'm hoping it feels that way, like so that it feels like all you do is make comics and you're kind of making time for study. That's usually how the 80-20 rule works for me. So I know, okay, so 20% of the time I was struggling with drawing this female figure. I got to go back and learn that. Or all my panels look the same, or perspective looks off, or this was supposed to be a sad scene, but the way I drew it, I don't feel sad. Or the best part, and this is what comics is it's 100% storytelling. The window dressing, the sauce, the frosting, the sprinkles, which is the style over top. It's not meaningless, but in comics, it is, arguably, okay? You have to communicate a story 100% of the time. That's why, in my opinion, you get superhero comics that they're very male-driven, male-focused, a lot of action, plot. There's not much story, where females tend to, not that there's anything wrong with this, read a lot of manga and things that are just jam-packed with awesome story. It's not just plot and this happens. And of course, that's not to say guys only like this and women only like that, but there's something there, right? And you just have to know the kind of field of art you want to do. If you like doing the high-action adrenaline stuff, that's cool. Just know that and make that. Okay, and that might sound like it can't be that easy, but it is. It honestly is. Don't try to confuse it and add stuff to it just to think that there's a tool to read or something like that, or a tool to have, or a Cintiq, or a Clip Studio Paint. A piece of paper and a pencil and a scanner can do the exact same stuff. Okay, just know what you're comfortable with. Work with what you're comfortable with, and know that. And this is the last thing I'll add to it, and I'll catch up with what you're saying. Please look at this stuff, and this isn't just directed towards you. This is everybody else that's listening after the fact. Stop looking at what you're doing as a sprint, and get more into the mindset of a marathon and legacy kind of stuff, where all the stuff you're doing now isn't going to get you the comic job by the end of the year. It's not going to get you that comic job in 6 months. Think about it 10, 20, 30 years from now. What are the steps you're doing right now to become a better artist, period? And as long as you start thinking like that, I have found anyway, that the people I've talked to, myself, that it's like you'll grow at a consistent base and things will snowball. You're going to start with a little ball and you're just going to keep adding and growing, and you're going to knock over things. It might break a bit, but you're going to hit obstacles and stuff, but the momentum will keep it going, and that's all you got to do, okay? Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. And if you want to make comics 100%. I don't, and I was that guy too that said I want to be a comic book artist, and you guys can go back to the stuff I was doing and look at the updates I was doing. There's like no comic book work, but the style I was doing was comic book stuff, and the idea of doing comics is great, and I still love it. that's why Jesop King, the story that I'm doing now, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. Is just make comics. It's gonna suck for sure, but it'll get better. It has to get better. And what was that quote? Where is it? Is it in one of these books here? Basically, it's impossible to get worse at something you do every day. Okay? And that might be our motivational speech. Motivational speech for the day. But anyway, feel free to come in whenever you want or watch any of the streams. Leave any comments. Lots of people here are really helpful. I feel like I need to grasp how to use the comic medium better as storytelling. That's me currently, just anatomy and basic. No, exactly. You're right, man. Don't worry about it. That's everybody. Everybody's like that. It's not a bad thing or a good thing. Just that I think that's normal. A lot of people, because let's be honest. When people look at comic books, you guys might be different, and I think there's a few people that this isn't true for. But most of us got into comics or enjoy comics because of the cover. There's something about your favorite artist, the style in which they draw. You were like, that's sick. You know, like there's something there that's sweet. This is good stuff. But we never look inside of the comic book and go, oh, like, I get it. That's the stuff I need to do. There's some panels that are really cool, but all that other stuff of like a face shot, an angle, we don't really think too much about that. And that's actually the comic book portion of it. If you would just want to do covers and like what I'm doing, a pinup or something like that, which is just 100% illustration based, it's a different game. Not to say that when you do comic books that there's not amazing artists at all. That's not at all what I mean. I'm just saying, just know that if comics are what you want to do, it's you like doing comics because of the story. You got to make it interesting for people, right? I don't think it's wise, and I haven't worked at the big two or anything like that, so take it with a grain of salt. I like to add that every time I say this. But if you're just looking for illustration and stuff, you could have a much lucrative job, a higher paying job, and have more work, make more money just doing illustration. Okay? All that's not to say that when you do comic books, you'll be poor and living in a shack. It's just story that's worth telling takes time. That's all. And if you're okay with that, knock it out, man. It's all going to take time. It's worth it, though, if you enjoy it. If you enjoy just drawing a big guy with a huge sword, let's say, there's obviously story in that. Illustration has to have storytelling. This is how we commune. Humans communicate with story. So you just have to find your favorite medium in telling story. It's probably the easiest way I could break down art. You like animating to tell a story? Then do animation, right? If you like sequential storytelling, the one thing that I will say that it really draws my attention to that has always been the case for comics is that you can be a one man or one woman show, do the whole thing, and it's all you, and it could turn into something, right? That to me is a huge, not that I don't like working with people, but being able to just do your own thing is awesome. That's an amazing thing. But some people don't like that and all that. Anyway, I know I'm going all over the rails here, but anyway, I hope that helped you a little bit anyway. Alright, so let's draw this the way it was meant to be drawn, not where it ended up going. Because how this ended up looking was no good. It was poopski. I have to grab some water in a second here, guys. My trout is just so dry. But if you stick around a little bit, Philemon, is that how you say it? Philemon? I don't know if you're still here or not, but once I get the roughs, like what I'm doing right now, once this character's done, we're going to be doing some comic pages, so I can show you some examples of stuff I'm talking about if you need any help. And that goes for anybody else too that's listening. I think we're doing line art, so it's not. I can tell you why I was doing certain things, but it's mostly just tightening up stuff here. All right, let's get the cell phone in here. I already feel better about this as opposed to whatever the hell we were doing before. You know what it is? I think it was just this because I added the side plane of her back that it just started getting like crazy. Because her thighs come in front, and this is something I lost when we were going wherever the hell I was going last time. Art, isn't it fun? I know I just said it, but you would think the more you draw, the easier this gets, right? Or you're just having a stupid day. That's possible too. Hey, Chaz, how's it going? Neil Adams was saying people's drawings are boring and people can't draw what they want because they don't trace stuff. Yeah, I think there could be some. I don't know. I guess I need to understand the context of what he's saying. Let me reread what you were saying. Maybe I didn't understand it. He's saying people's drawings are boring and people can't draw what they want because they trace stuff. I'm assuming is what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I guess people are always looking for shortcuts. I'm guilty of this too. I like to use 3D models for my background just because I don't want to draw them. But in my defense, if I was to add something on there, a little caveat, I'm still like choosing to put things in spots for a reason. It's not just like I need a background, so just put in a background. Like there's still composition I'm trying to worry about and stuff. So as long as like I don't think tracing is bad. I think it's bad when you don't know why you're doing it. If your answer of doing it is like, what would be the answer for that? That's a good question. My brain right now is like trying to figure this out, and then you you got me all the way out here trying to figure out the question you just asked too. It's good stuff. My brain can't handle it. I pronounced it right the first time? Okay, cool. Philemon. I just saw it and I thought of Digimon right away. I don't know why. Or Pokemon. I I don't know why. Let's get this in here. Let's just get some negative space in here so I can really see what's going on. Let's just turn this off to make sure we're not going way off base again. There's this gap that I have right in here with her hips. You know what? Like I'm not giving her big boobs here, but maybe it's even if I go a little less, it'll read a little better. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. How's it going, Create? I had many Digimon Pokemon. I bet. I feel your pain, man. Look at my last name. Zip gun. I was trying to get down all the basics like color, anatomy, perspective, and so on, rather than doing the actual pages because I thought it was about the right way. Sounds dumb. No, it doesn't sound dumb. I don't understand. You know what it is? I think honestly, and this is what separates people that they go for exactly what it is they want because they already understood it. They've already gone past this part that you and I are talking about. I know there's other people, whether in the chat right now or otherwise, that are in the exact same boat, which is we don't know when that transition time is supposed to happen to start making. We're always in learn stage, and you could be in that stage forever. And you will be in. That's the thing. You will be in that stage forever. But we feel as noob artists and stuff that we won't be. Something's gonna creep up along the way that tells you now is the time to start doing stuff. And I don't know that it's never been the case for me or for a lot of people I've heard. I've never heard of anybody just spending let's say 5 years in a cave just drawing anatomy and like I can draw figures no matter what. And then they show up on the comic scene, throw the cape over the side. They're like, guess what? I'm here now, and now I'm getting a job doing this because I'm amazing. I spent all this time doing anatomy, right? And that's I don't know. I just think that's the way it is, and it's not right at all. It's interesting. You want to, and that's why I said when I started this that a lot of people, not everyone obviously, but a lot of people when they start drawing, you're into it because of this really sick looking artwork, right? And then hopefully you stay for either the really cool story, hopefully it's a cool story to you, right? Or you just really like the artist and you just want more. So when it comes time to you going like, I want to do comics or I want to draw like that, that's where we get stuck. We just get stuck in that continual loop of, I want to draw like that. There's no transition out of it, and that's, I think, why people get stuck. That's 100% why I got stuck. I remember looking at Joe Madureira and drawing an anime and all this stuff, and then eventually it was like, okay, well, I need to learn how to really draw anatomy and stuff, so I would study some of that. But you're never perfect at it. There's always angles that get odd or weird, and the best part is no matter the more you draw, the more you're gonna get better at anything, right? And if comics is the goal in this case, you got to keep working. You can only draw so many faces the same before you get into a weird angle that you can't draw. So you'll do comics where you're like, I'm just gonna make everybody draw. I'm gonna draw a head this way because I have to make pages because that's what matters. And then eventually you go, damn it, I need my art to look better. So then you start studying in your off time how to get different angled heads, and you just build on it that way. It's weird, man. Like again, if I could go back, I wouldn't even look at anatomy. I would have just been making comic book pages, bang, knocking those out, knocking them out, and then spending the time afterwards going like, okay, what do I need to get better at? Perspective, all that stuff, right? Because I believe, again, since we're in storytelling is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters. A really cool image is great, but that's just illustration, and stories in illustration as well. When you're in comics, when you turn a page, you see the Hulk hulking out, and there's things you remember in story, and that's what's important. And if you're not that way, that's cool. Just maybe illustrations where you should be, and that's fine too. That's fine too. How's it going, Felix? Neil Adams discussing tracing on Kevin Smith's Fat Man on Batman podcast. Okay, I haven't really listened to much of that stuff. I don't listen to a lot of comic book stuff for sure. Anyway, that's getting off topic. I've never really looked too much into Neil Adams stuff. It's a realization I had a few months back actually, which was, when I was always talking about Marvel DC and that's the goal and all that crap. That it's like a lot of these comic book greats, I don't know who they are. I'm not even interested. And it sounds disrespectful, I know. But I was just getting more turned on and interested by like different style of art. This is really what it came down to. And I've continually said, and I'll still say, right, like, yeah, obviously Joe Madureira, all that crap, but like Capcom artwork back in the 90s, like Street Fighter and stuff, like Final Fantasy VI on Super Nintendo, like those are things that were getting me excited. That's why I had to question the whole like, okay, what am I doing here? Am I just am I lying to myself? Am I doing comics just because I want to draw cool art? Or am I drawing comics because I want to tell cool stories? And again, I just want to reiterate here, guys, when I'm saying cool stories doesn't have to be Shakespeare. Like you don't need a plot that arcs over 12 issues, and at the end of it, people are just like, oh my god. cool stories are whatever it is to you. If cool stories to you is somebody morphing into a Power Ranger and jumping into a Zord to destroy a bad guy and solve the moral of the week, you know, like don't pick on your friends. If that's what you want, that's a cool story to you, then that's a cool story to you, right? It's different for everybody. Just do those things. That's all. The agenda today is this. This is the second time we're doing it. I'm just putting the costume on her now. I might actually, let's open it up. Open it up. Open up this one just so I can compare the two. I want to see if I'm even getting closer to. Oh God, it's so gross. I don't. Ugh. So much wrong with that. This one's way better. It just feels better too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the background. I'm gonna cheese it here because I'm trying to save some time. I have to do some Jesop King work today, but I have to do this as well because it's the right thing to do. Got to help with your fellow bros. All right, so get the little cheesy background in there. Bang, that's done. So she's pretty much good to go. What am I missing here? Oh, she needs shoes. Because what self-respecting girl solves crime without her tunes? And some flats. I feel like, okay, yeah, right, that's what it was. Okay, so this came up like this, and it goes around like that. So this is how I do Spider-Man webbing. I don't know if you guys, I think everybody's got their own little way of doing it. Some people, they'll do the webbing, like where I'm at right now. You'll put the webbing in there. I find it just a little easier to do it this way. It's the same thing with like Captain America, fish scale kind of look. It's a little difficult to get all that all the time. And I don't want to worry about it right now. It's important to have it so I know where it's at. But when we get into the Lineart, we can go ahead and we can just add that. And this helps me, again, form, right? So if we have all that in there, I think she also has like a little thing over here too. Okay, so let me just... Spider-Man face. One of the best superhero faces ever, right? Alright, so here we go. So this is pretty much how it looks. It's way better than this one. My opinion. Oh God. However, we might be able to just make it a little bigger, just to fill up more space, so they get more art. So who doesn't like more art, right? There we go. Cool. Think we made it. Think we got there. Took a little bit. You notice how much faster that one went as opposed to the first one? Thank you, Monochrome. Monochrome, I think I'm going to start sending you some money, and I'm going to ask you to be my my publicist. You're continually resharing, retweeting all the stuff I post about my store and stuff, so thank you. I'm going to take this opportunity to do that disgusting plugging right now. Disgusting plugging? PG-13, right? So hey guys, let's do the spiel. Finally got my website updated. Maybe I can't show you, so this is gonna be great. Oh God, I have to like adjust the size of it because you guys can't see it. Because the Cintiq I have is 4x3, so I have to zoom in so it looks full screen to you guys. So I have to always adjust stuff. Anyway, head on over to my website. Any links to wherever you guys want to follow me, it's all in there. Cool. Appreciate any follows and likes and stuff. You can contact me through here, all that cool stuff. You click this magic button here. It's going to take you to the Etsy store. We finally got this up and running. And I appreciate it. We're still looking for that magic sale. So let's see if we can get one. But there's a whole bunch of art on here. And I would love your guys' feedback too. This is still a learning process. And again, I do appreciate you guys' patience. We worked on these prints, like October last year? Maybe a little earlier than that. So yeah, this is Etsy. I've never been on there, so this is all learning for me. I got all the shipping. Everything will start getting shipped in this. Monochrome Moose is actually, again, the first person that's going to get this test. Where do we go here? All right, so we can look on here. So this is here. They're going to get shipped in here. This is for everybody else too. If you guys, lots of artists in here and stuff, right? If you guys want to start shipping stuff, check out. This is from Uline. It's called, and I gotta give a shout out to Sketchcraft who told me about them. So you can get like I got a box. You can't see it over here. It weighs a ton of 100 of these things. Okay, so you guys can get 100 of these flat mailers, and they don't. You hear that? They bend, but they don't bend what's inside. So Monochrome's got his prints in here. He's gonna have this and all that stuff. So if you guys are looking, you guys can check those out too. These ones are 13 by 18, I believe, and shipping goes about like $10, $8 to $12, depending where it's going in the world and all that stuff. So you guys check all that out. Anyway, feel free to go here. If you could do a bro a solid here, if you can't afford to buy anything, I appreciate all that. If you wouldn't mind maybe sending a share, just let your guys' peeps know that I have some stuff here that people might enjoy. Okay, enough of that crap. I just feel so guilty showing that stuff. All right, let's close all this down. We don't need. No, we do not need to save that. Yuck. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to fill my water bottle up, and we're going to work on some line art for some Jesop King. Where are we at here? Breakdowns. We did this yesterday. So we got 3 new juicy pages that we're going to be working on. I might just. What time is it? 6, 7. Maybe we'll be able to get 2 done. Let's see. Let's see if we can push it. But I'm going to open all 3 here, and I'll leave it on a cool image for you guys. Jesop in the action shot, right? We don't get to see this very often, so it's pretty cool stuff. Anyway, and then I like that silhouette. The silhouette turned out really cool down here too, where Momo's holding him back from beating up on these two little dudes and stuff. Okay, all right. So I will be right. Sorry, before I go. No, I appreciate that monochrome. Yeah, and the sketchbook's in there too. Yeah, no problem. It's not that there's a rush. I just want to make sure I'm doing it because the thing is, like with Patreon as well. Here we go, more plugs. So on Patreon, I have the $15 digital commission as well. Obviously, grateful for anybody that's doing that. That stuff I usually like to get done right in the earliest portion of the month. So I have the rest of the month to just do Jesop. So I find when I have a project staggered throughout the month, it's like I don't feel like I'm just 100% in the world with the guy and with the comic, so it gets away from me a little bit. So that's the only reason I like to just get a lot of. I put you what I'm doing for you, the gift commission. I put it under work. It's all. It's not necessarily. It's not my thing. Drawing my own thing, right? I'm doing it as a gift or a commission for somebody else. So I just bottle it under there, and I like to get that stuff moving. I don't like having like if you look behind me. Check this out, guys. Here, I'll show you this here, and then I promise I'll be right back. So this one. God, we started this, I think, before even Doctor Strange came out. It's still not done. It's been sitting here for months or whatever, right? Did we get the webcam? No. Okay. So this is what the Spider Gwen's gonna be printed on, right? It's Bristol. It's 11 by 17 Bristol. If you check, there's like all these dimples on the back. Do you see that? And the reason for that is if you look, I don't know if this is gonna come in clear. Awesome, that autofocus, cool. Kind of. Anyway, it's gray wash, right? And I love the way it looks. But right now, if you can look, where's my finger? Here we go, over here. So I just started inking this thing, and we don't do too much inks, but this has been here forever as well, right? And these are, I don't like, every day I walk in here, and this thing is on the desk, just sitting there reminding me, hey, you have an open project loop here, you need to do something about this. You can't just have it like sitting around doing that thing all the time. So I don't like that feeling of that. Let's catch up here with you guys real quick. Yeah, commissions are always a high priority. Going back to the road. No problem, buddy. Does anybody know some good sci-fi retro comics or webtoons? I haven't seen any myself. There will be one on. Well played, Matador. Well played. Thank you for that. Bitey's got his eye on the Turtle Sprint. Awesome. Jonathan, if you need help implementing Comic Easel, let me know. I've installed. I'm using Tumblr for the Jesop King webcomic, not WordPress. I believe that's. Wait, the easel, that's for WordPress, I think, right? Anyway, I'll be right back, guys. Then we'll get into some drawing. We got to put the logo back up. That way it's official Jesop King work. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I just watched the Deadpool 2 trailer. That was perfect. That was perfect. All right, so yes, I believe it's simple webcomic theme for Tumblr. It's actually very easy, very simple. I had a little bit of struggle in the beginning trying to get like the social links to work and all that, but I realized what I was doing. It's always user error, right? Always user error. All right, let's turn our text off. Let me get our timer going. Stopwatch. Let's do it. Okay. Okay, so we got our breakdowns here. Thumbnail we don't need, we can kill that. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 panels. 1, 2, 3, 4. So much prep to draw. Zoom a bit. There we go. Cool. Oh yeah, sorry about that, Matador. Yeah, I usually, I don't know if you're probably in this case because I'm pretty sure I emailed you. So on Patreon you can message patrons, but I don't think people check their email, which is fair. I don't know how many people actually read email nowadays. So I usually send out an update, just letting people know that their cards are canceled. But thanks, man. Appreciate that. And how's stuff going with you too, by the way, man? Things getting any better, or how's the drawing going? Hey, James. Oh, fucking hate that dude. Yeah, sorry, man. Like, I know there's nothing I can do or anybody else can do, but not being able to, by choosing not to wear a back brace just so you can go to like sleep better, and then you have pain in it. Like nobody deserve, nobody should have to experience that, man. Yeah, I ship to Europe. At least I should. You'll be the here's okay. I appreciate you wanted to buy anything, so make your order if you'd like, and we'll find out. I ship worldwide for sure. The reason I say it like that to put all the confidence in the world in your purchase. The reason I say that is because I haven't sold anything on Etsy yet, let alone somebody that's from Europe. So when I post something, it does say something on there about something for you guys that you require something. Excuse me, when things get shipped. So the fact that you're from Europe and you're willing to buy something, that helps me out big time. We can iron out any kind of kinks or bugs, and I'm hoping there's no issue. It's just, add to cart, ship, done. So if you have any problems or if anything's going awry, just let me know. We'll get you straightened out. Okay, so let's make a selection on Jesop and KO there. So something I wanted to do here, you guys might get a kick out of this. So since I want to go ahead and actually here, let me try something here. 100%. I don't know why it's saying that. Okay, what the hell's going on? Why can't I click? Because it's got all this crap on it. Oh my god. I want to rename it to this. KO layer. That's what Freddy always calls it, right? So, because I want to see if this speeds up coloring, but I'm adding more time right now. It's just easier for me to just quickly go, oh, it's a KO layer. I can see it, right? Can you actually change the color in here too? Does that work? No, I think they got rid of that. But anyway, so I'm going to have to remake an action. So if you guys get ready, everybody's always interested in how to make a KO layer and stuff, right? So I'm going to show you how I go ahead and make one. I just have to do a test first to make sure my crap's alright. So we go like that. We're going to have our selection. We go bang. Make sure it looks okay. So we got that. Then we expand, right, by 1. Then we invert. Make a new layer. Fill it. Move it down. And then rename it. Right, no, and then we go effect. Actually, we can try a whole bunch of stuff out with this. Alright, cool. Alright, so if you feel like you need to rewatch the video at this point and all that stuff, that's cool too, or pause it, whatever. So you guys can make your own auto action. Basically what I'm doing, just to reiterate, is this white shape, it's a Freddy calls it a knockout layer. If you notice, let me turn this off so you can see it. It's just adding a white shape around your character once it's like final artwork, right? So no matter where you move it, it always blocks things out. Now, why it's cool is if you ever felt like you drew something and you're like, damn, maybe this arm's too close, or not arm, but this character's odd, you can just slightly, just ever so slightly move it. Or in the absolute extreme cases, you could take that guy or that drawing, that lady, whatever, and copy and paste it into another picture, and it blocks out all the stuff behind it without you having to manually go in there and do all that. So it saves a lot of time. And the reason I'm doing it again is because I want to shorten down the coloring process, so I want to rename it something. Right now it's just, I don't name my layers for the most part. I don't know if it's a bad or a good thing, but alright, so we want to start off with something positive here, right? So we need a closed shape. So I'm going to start with a box. It's easy, okay? So I'm going to make a new layer here, and I'm going to call it F9. I've already got KO, so I'm going to put K/O. Okay, you hit enter, so it's got there. Then all you got to do is hit the record button. Now it's recording every action you do, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm just going to hit W, and it's recording all the things I'm doing right now, right? So from current layer, I don't want to change it from all layers. No, we're going to do current layer. So click here. Let's do its thing. Then remember, I already ran through all this stuff, so I can remember it. So expand by 1, so it's making it tighter. Then we're inverting the selection. Okay. Now I like to do. Yeah, actually, I'm going to try it over here. Let's try it without going too crazy here. So I'm going to make a new layer. You can see it all happening in here. What it's saying here, right? And we're going to go edit, advanced fill, select white. Right there, cool. Click OK. Deselect. Then we go layer. I'm going to move it below. I know this is going to get crazy. If you're trying to keep up, probably won't be able to do it. So just hit pause and go back. Layer, where you at? I basically want to move the layer order. Here we go. Down, so it goes beneath the line. And then we're going to double click in here, and we're just going to put KO. Hit enter. So you change layer name. Oh, right, we're not done. Effect. I'm going to click up here. I'm going to click in here because I don't actually, you know what? Let's click black. I don't know if this is going to work. This could screw it up. So let's fill it with black, and then I'm going to change the thickness to 3. Yeah, I think that's it. And then I'm going to stop. Okay. So, it's got a whole bunch of crap in there, right? So let's do a test. Alright, so we'll draw whatever. A shape. So we hit wand, click. Now, without setting up any shortcuts or anything or hotkeys, you can just click. Actually, hold on one sec. Stop that. You can just click in here. Some people like to have this open on their UI. You can just hit play, and it should do its whole thing. Cool. Okay, I thought it wasn't going to work for a second there. So did it work? I don't think it did. So why didn't it work? Edge color. Oh, because, see? You start experimenting with stuff and that happens. Okay, so I'm going to have to click that off every time. Is that right? Let's try it again. Yeah, I'm going to have to click that. Okay, so we don't want that. Alright, so we got to do it all over again. Welcome to the jungle, guys. Alright, so we'll make our shape. It's like making a new brush. Just got to work with it. Okay, so we got that. So again, I guess we're going to do this one more time, so I guess you can see it again. F9, K/O. The reason I put F9, just so you guys know, is I'll show you, because I'll do this at the last step, is I set my, what's it called? Damn it. My shortcut key. So whenever I press F9, it'll do this instead of having to press play on these ones. And then it just gets into muscle memory what all those F keys kind of do. Okay, so yes, it's good. All right, let's start recording. Nope, did it wrong. Okay, so hit the wand tool, make your selection, then start recording. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me just think of something here. I wonder if you could just press F9 without the wand tool and it would just do all this on its own. I wonder if it's smart enough to know where the selection is. I'm not going to risk it. Let's just keep this going. Alright, record. Okay, so expand the selection by 1. Yes. Okay, invert. Layer. New raster layer. Edit advanced fill. We want to fill it with white. Yes. Deselect. Layer. Layer order. Move down. Cool. So okay, sometimes you guys know when you click in things, that's why I'm doing a lot of this over and over again, just because if you use the menus I find up here, it'll be perfect. Sometimes when you start double clicking and things in there, at least in Photoshop, shit just got out of whack. So I want to see if I can rename it in here. Layer. I don't know if you can just rename in this sort of thing. Create folder and insert layer. That's actually really powerful. Okay, guess not. Alright, so we're going to double click in here. KO. Knockout. Alright, so we go there. Then we're going to click this. We're going to fill it with black. This is the part that I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but let's try. 2, 3. Alright, so we got our nice there. And stop recording. Alright, so let's try it again. Alright, so we'll have a face. So we hit our wand tool, select in there, and let's press play. Let's see if this works. Sweet. Okay, we're good. We are good. There we go. So we got that. Our KO layer is ready to go. We can still select in there for our color flats. Perfect. All of that was just so that I could have it always rename something. Here's another example for you guys, okay? The power of auto actions. So I had to make this one today, so I'll show you guys. This has no relevance to anything. You can see it's called Tapastic Thumb. So when I publish Jesop King to Tapastic, I have to always have a 300 by 300 thumbnail. Always going up to like edit image size 300 sucks. So what I did is I can just press F11. It's going to change the image size to 300 by 300 and change the resolution a little bit smaller, and you'll be able to see what I'm going to do. And it's also going to merge all the layers down, right? So let's say I'm done. This page is done. I press one button. Watch what it does, okay? One button. It's going to merge everything. Once it has its heart attack. Normally it doesn't go this slow. It's just when I stream, okay? So here you go. Bang. Done. So now this is a 300 by 300 square, and then I can move the image around and go, what's the image I want for the thumbnail? So it's not 100% customizable, right? Like I can still adjust the size of the image, but just being able to, the reason I'm showing you this, and I'm going to stop rambling and get back to John here, is I want to encourage you guys to get used to using auto actions, or if you're using Photoshop, to use, I think they're just called actions. Because they will tremendously speed up your workflow, okay? So I'm going to delete all this stuff here. I'm also going to delete Jesop's KO layer just to test it. Alright, so the last part we do here is we go File, Shortcut Settings, and then we click Auto Action. You can set up any button you want in Manga Studio to be able to adjust the shortcut key. So F9 KO is this one, so I'm going to hit this one, delete shortcut. This one we're going to edit shortcut to F9. Cool, and then I'm just going to drag it up. Oh, you can't do it in here, right? So click OK. We don't need this old one. Delete that. And then I just move them just so they're all like numbered, right? Like 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 9. So I can put this, move it over here next to the history. Doesn't matter. All right, so let's test it out here on an official piece here. So let's grab our wand tool. Click it. Should run exactly the same as before, just with a KO layer. Yeah, there you go. See? And it's done. It took no time. And put your special effects and stuff over top. Cool. Okay, guys. Hopefully that little mini tutorial. How's it going, Troy? Let me just catch up because I was rambling. I want to say hi to you guys here. La, 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 la. Is that the stamp from Freddy? Felix, I'm not sure what the stamp is you're talking about. Are you talking about like this KO layer? You're calling it a stamp? I like that. Everybody's got their slang for it. I like it. Shipping costs are, same price as the product itself. Cheap compared to other shipping costs. No, you're right. And I mean, okay, so like this is, I just want to say that last time for the print stuff. So when I go to a convention, I usually charge, I think it's around $10 a print. And then it's like 2 for 15 or something like that. Sometimes, you know, the early day, you guys will find if you go on a Sunday or the last day of a convention, prices usually drop dramatically because people want to bring it home. It sucks if you're at a booth because a lot of people know that, so they won't buy anything your first day, but you still have to try, right? And I guess the risk is people might buy it. But if we're indie, like, you know, me and stuff, chances are nobody's buying your stuff, right? So as for the shipping, that's the problem that I've always had. And I used to ship in tubes, and the tubes were like anywhere from like 10 to 20 bucks, more so on the $20 side. Overseas was 25. Around there is insane. So that's why I just didn't make anything. So now that I got the mailers and stuff, it's too big to be shipped as mail. It's a package now, right? So, but it's great. I can just put one. The thing is, if you notice too, and I'm not sure if it's clear, but if you buy a print on my store, every additional print you buy, I think it's just like $1 extra shipping. So if you're buying in bulk, it saves you more in the long run. Well, here we go, the spiel, right? But anyway, I'm only talking about it because I'm interested in what you guys think if you guys use it too and stuff. I wish Clip Studio would allow you to link layers in Photoshop. I've never linked layers. Is that a big thing? You know how in Photoshop you can select 2 layers and click the link button so when you move or crop one layer or do it? I've never actually done that, but that makes a lot of sense. You can then clip, just select one layer and then sub-select the ones you want to move along with. Oh, I think you're okay. Yeah, if you're just talking about like clicking one layer and then holding shift and clicking things, that's usually what I'll do in Photoshop too. Because I don't want to be bothered with all that stuff. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's set our timer up here. Start. Okay. So we'll make another folder. Actually, you know what? I saw something here. This was sick. Check this out. Layer. Finding new stuff all the time here, right? So it was create folder and insert layer. Check this out. I want to see if this works. No, didn't work. All right, let's try it up here. Layer. No. Let's try it up here. Layer, create folder, and insert layer. Oh, that's what it's doing. I thought it was making a folder and then putting a layer in it. What it's doing is if you have, okay, that's interesting. So if I go like F6 to make a new layer, right, this would be my background layer. If I go up to layer, you can go create folder and insert layer. It'll put that into a folder. Now that's sexy. I don't even know if Photoshop does that. What could be a shortcut for that? F6. Because you could probably select a whole bunch of things and do that instead of dragging down here. Anyway, the brain's firing off here. Okay, background. So we added these like spine shapes too to the background, and the reason for that was they're trapped inside like this little like mucus kind of prison ball, and we need some sort of repeating shape in here because our camera or the scenes that we're going to be using, right? They're going to change. They're going to be left to right and stuff like that. So we need something in here for the reader. So when they see it, they have something they can ground themselves to. So an example would be, let's say you're having like a cop scene where there's one cop grilling another cop or a bad guy or something, right? A criminal. If it's just a room with two dudes talking, it's fine. But if you add like a chair or a table, instantly better. Instantly better if you add a table and you add something to it like a coffee cup, you know? And on that coffee cup, this is where it keeps going. On that coffee cup, you put like a red circle on just the one side. So whenever you see a scene with the red circle, okay, cool. And then if you look at the cup again without that circle, you know you're behind it. It's just those little things that help. That help so much just for pure storytelling. That it's almost a shame. It's almost, I would say it's in your best interest, not a shame. It's in your best interest to try to find every moment you can add something like that. Especially if you find something that you're doing isn't clear. So we have a lot of impact here that we're going to put with special effects. Where's this one going? So make sure I might have to add more over his backside there. We can add some ripples. So check this out, right? Just so you guys can see again the whole point of using knockout layers. So I'm gonna draw, and I'm gonna draw straight right through Jesop here. Bang! You can't even see it, right? So you can get sloppy with your artwork here, and it always, you know, if you work with like a pen and pencil, this is a little bit more tricky. You have to stop where you're going, so you can make, you know, and check this out, right? Because I drew a little bit in there. If you wanted to, again, right, you can just move them around, and there's still shape. You know, like maybe I think he's too close. You can kind of move him up and stuff, you know, which I'm actually gonna do. Just a wee bit. You're too shy to stream? We're all shy when we start. But one day you can be like me and have a webcam and show your face to the world. And then you can start doing live nude shows. Now we're talking bucks, okay? Now we're making money. You'll be fine. Just, you know what? You do what a lot of people do. Just play music in the background. Don't monetize on it right away, and just get used to drawing in front of people, all that stuff, if you want. I know not stream. I don't think streaming is for everybody, and that's okay. But it's, you know, let's put it this way: if you've got people that maybe not now, but at some point could potentially enjoy your work, it's, you know, how many artists I love their stuff, and then I do a quick like Google search for them, and I'm like, right on YouTube, do they have a video? I want to see how they draw. I just want to see. I don't even want to hear them talk necessarily. If they do, that's great. I mean, I ramble. I'm in the worst case scenario with that, but there's tons of dudes that I listen to, or not that I listen to, I watch, and and you can't find even anything that they have, and it's a shame. I want to see their secrets. I want them to show me the way they draw. So let's talk about video games for a second here, guys. Live nudes? Nah, you'd be surprised what people are into. You would be surprised. The show's going into weird places now. So let's talk video games for a second. So Zelda, Switch. I don't want to talk about the Switch. That doesn't matter. But Zelda. Anybody here playing it? Whether it's for this, whether you got it for the Switch or the Wii U. Anybody playing it? I keep debating if I should pick it up. Because the logical side of the brain is saying, oh, you don't need to. The only reason you want to is because it's new. Everybody's saying it's great. You want to be in on that. You can play in a year, it'll still be great. Or will it? I think I might add the special effects for this panel as well in here. Yeah. Keep your bathroom. No new Zelda? Hey, Jesop. How are you? Hi, Bobo. What's up? What's up, Papa Cat? Mm-hmm. I know. That's what we're talking about right now. Review it, yeah, okay. No Zelda, my son's been playing a game called Honor. Oh, For Honor, yeah, I heard really good things about that too. Oh, man. Hey, Jessup. What's up, Papa? Coming to harass me? Yeah, well. Lots of explosions. What? You're always looking at me like that. What? What, Jojo? What's up, buddy? I'm working. I know it doesn't look like it. A lot of work. God, I'm talking to the cat right now. Jesus. That you were in a podcast recently. Yeah, on good old Sketchcrafts channel. I show you. I'll post a link in the chat and I'll put it on the camera so you guys can. I recommend. I mean, whatever. It's a podcast, so if you guys want to listen to it, that's cool too. If you guys dig it, that's great. If not, sorry. I'm also gonna go back on there. For I'll probably be on there for a while anyway, just shooting the breeze. I enjoy what Rob does. It's right here. But we're going. I'm gonna go back on the show. I think third or fourth week of March this month. We're gonna just talk process and stuff about the webcomic and all that. So it's right here. It's got my name on there, and he was talking about he used the fireworks logo or logo page. Copy link. I'll post it in here so you guys can listen to it and enjoy. Did I name these dudes yet? I haven't named them yet. So put Tupo. Oh, you thought that, Pillowhead? What made you say that? Can you remember anything, or did you just listen to it a while ago? I'm trying to think in my head. What would made you thought that? I remember we were talking a lot about conventions towards the end. Where's her eyes? Okay. Oh, do we try? Right on, man. The tone of his voice, okay. No, I call. I've told Rob I call his style passionate because I think he. I don't know him personally. I just met the guy online, right? Super cool guy. I dig him. You know, I've he's helped me out so far just by like after the stream. Let's just call a spade here, right? I know he comes across aggressive. I'm not gonna defend. Some people call him negative and stuff. That's all cool. I have learned a lot from his channel myself, so I have an admiration for him and a respect. Um, and after our podcast there, I was asking him a few questions about like shipping on Etsy and stuff that he does, as well as he told me more information with this Uline stuff. So a lot of it, obviously I'll be grateful for, and I know that's not what you were saying or where you're coming from, but I do feel like he might feel, whether it's true or not, that he's just been either a series of bad decisions on his part of what's the way to say it? Bad decisions on his part of being possibly screwed over by companies, or just he's had a string of bad luck, I guess, is how it comes across. So he's a little jaded, but I call him. I don't want to. This will sound bad, but it's like my admiration for like Alex Jones. So on the outset, right when you hear them, they're very extreme, or they might sound negative, or whatever. One analogy I heard Alex say was like, once you can look past that and hear what's really there, and some people can't, but I've been able to, and I hear like the genuine side of it. But it's like some people are explaining like the house is on fire, and some people get upset hearing talk like that. Where other people are like, well, I'm glad that you're letting me know the house is on fire, so now we can do something about it. And that's where it's like I kind of find that he's not extreme like Alex Jones at all. I know it's such a horrible analogy, but it's like some people have even come in here and they talk about it too. That it's just kind of like he's a little on the aggressive side and stuff, but he's a cool dude. I'll tell you right now, like off stream, not that he was no different when we were talking privately, but he's been around. He's been screwed over. He's done production work for companies and stuff. You know, so a lot of what he does is he's just trying to look out for other people and help people along the way. And so that's why I say, to me, it comes across as passionate. Because he doesn't want people to get screwed over, and he wants people. It's like anybody, like myself too. We just want to help people. We're not teachers, right? But if we've got something that'll help you guys, make better decisions than we did, or not get in sticky situations, then bonus. But anyway, enjoy the stream. I think you guys will like it. It's more of like just like a little introduction to just meeting each other for the first time. And like I said, we'll do another one soon-ish. Once the comic's live and I can talk about it, and then I'm sure we'll go into process. And I know the discussion will go into Photoshop versus Manga Studio, which is always fun. I like talking, not like one's better than the other, but I definitely like talking about Manga Studio and why we all decide to use it and stuff. He was shitting on my favorite book? Really? Alright, let's get this dude in here. Alright, so we gotta draw these guys right. Still can't get a hang on them. Okay, how did we draw their eyes last time? Where are they? Here. So, okay. So we started going a little cartoony with them. Oh, okay. I know what you're saying. Yeah, that's all good. Man, since the number one video on my channel is still the DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics in Manga Studio. Right, that's where a lot of people they just started following me, and they didn't stick around. Most likely because I've talked about this too. You know, it's when I first started the channel, it was just meant to be like an art vlog thing, just to keep me motivated and drawing. And then you run out of content. I talk about it in the podcast too. You just sort of I ran out of content. It started to become like a okay now it's like a show, and I never want this to be a show. That's why the Wednesday ones still are like aren't back because once it's a show, I always feel the pressure of like okay well I've always got to create content. Where this is much more enjoyable for me, where it's just stream and talk with people and document what's going on and all that fun stuff. I get more enjoyment out of this, right? So I understand why that's my number one video because people want to learn, right? And there's nothing wrong with learning. I just don't want to be a teacher. So in the beginning, we were doing all kinds of like, all right, well, here's how to draw the torso, and here's how to draw a head. It's not fun. It's not fun. If you're learning, of course, it's cool finding new stuff. But it's for me, you know, I'm not Proco. I'm not these guys. I'm not a teacher. I'm not. I'll talk with people. You know, we'll talk and shoot the shit and stuff. I like that. I like talking shop more than teaching. So anyway, every time I talk about the Freddy book, I always, you guys know me. I like to give credit where credit's due. That's why I bring it up all the time because it's helped me so much, and he's helped me so much too through his work. And you know, if I ever had to email him about a question or something, and he got back to me, and just cool guy, cool guy. But I understand, like you and I, we get this all the time. Comments are left, usually more positive than not. But there's people that don't like working this way, and that's fine. I think that's it's great because it keeps things level. You know, like it keeps things fresh. As long as everybody's not drawing the same and working the same, it's good. That's how like new things happen, new ideas and stuff. Everything's not for everybody, right? And that's okay. So when people disagree with stuff like that, it sucks. You're like, man, what don't you see that I see? You know, like I see some awesome stuff here. This guy's legs are way too big. But it's cool when people don't see that stuff, you know, because like some people like let's just say, it could be anything. It could be anything. They like paintball guns. I don't care. They're fun, but I don't care. Motorcycles, they're cool. I don't care. But sometimes that's people's jam, you know. That's fine. It's fine. See you, Keeman. Does it? Really? That's interesting. Yeah, here, I'll show you guys. Here. We'll do some inside baseball here. It's always fun looking at this stuff. Okay, let me go on YouTube and I'll show you guys the behind the scenes. The behind the scenes. I just gotta find out how to get to it. What is it? Creator Studio. Is it analytics? Give me a second here to find it, you guys. Yeah, I just want to make sure there's no like information on here, you guys. Not that I care. Like, I make to be totally upfront with you guys. I make maybe $100 every 3 to 5 months on YouTube. That's because of the content I make. It's all like beefy stuff. It's not. I'm not on YouTube. Like you guys know all the big top channels and how short a lot of those videos are, and the entertainment they provide, right? So anyway, okay. So this is my stuff here. So check this out, right? This is always fun to watch. So you guys know I do like multi-hour videos that upload, right? This is the average view time between what was it? I guess between January 6th and February of this year. 10 minutes. Well, we'll say 11 minutes. 11 minutes out of like 2 or 3 hours. So that tells me people skim through, which makes sense, right? And you can see where they're skimming through too, right? So they start high and then they drop because they probably see how, look at that, at 8 minutes they're gone, and then 5 minutes they're out. But then there's like this giant jump at the 16 minutes in, right? So some of these people aren't even making it all the way through the video. They'll click through some stuff, probably see my head talking, and it's still the same image. You go, Jesus, this guy doesn't stop, right? So what do we got here? Okay, the money stuff, who cares about that? We're not about making riches here, right? So here we go, right? Like, so, God, like these pages here, like these ones we did here, a mega stream. This one was 4 hours long. And I made, no, see, your estimated revenue, I don't think is what matters. It's this right here. I made 29 cents on that video. 3.6% of my subscribers watch it. Just so you guys can understand. So I had a couple people saying, like, how do you build audiences and stuff, right? That's all great stuff. You know, I've got, what, 14,000 and change subscribers, which is awesome. But when you're only pulling in like 3%, under 10%, under 5% really of your audience, what matters, right? And that's you guys that are talking to me right now, leaving comments. You guys are part of the elite here, I guess, you know, of the amount of people in here. So these are the other numbers that are interesting too, right? So it's like, check this out. Again, let's go to that mega stream, whatever it was, right? People are only watching the restreams anyway, about like 8%. We're talking under, pretty much basically the same thing. Around 5% of all of that content is getting consumed, which is fine. That's the nature of the beast, right? And you can start to see everything's pretty much male driven. Everybody's watching on YouTube, all this other stuff here. But I wanted to look at videos, browse all content, right? So this is where we can kind of get a little bit better here. So here we go. So this would be the video here, the DC Comics one. So that one's had 189,000 views, which is awesome. The second one goes to 40,000, which is using 3D models, right? These are all teaching things, right? Perspective rulers in Manga Studio. This isn't Clip Studio 5. This is that. So 21. And then this one I stopped when I wanted to do comic reviews and stuff. But then again, it started getting, again, it's all teaching kind of stuff. It's none of this is fun for, not that it's not fun, but then the next one after that is let's have a first look at Manga Studio, and then a Huion review, and then preparing a comic. Like, let's see when we first start to see like actual art. You know, like process. The morning routine. I just want to see when there's one that's like, hey, let's just draw. Hulk, it's kind of processy. That's 5,000. So do you guys see the big jump? And the last reason, again, why I just want to so you guys can see this, for all of you that are wondering about how to make YouTube channels and like that's how you build your audience and stuff. I'm not denying that there's awesome things in this. I would be talking to you guys if this wasn't here, but it's not as rosy as I guess some people might think it is, just based off of like a number, and that number is somewhere around here. I don't know. It's like 14,000 or whatever, right? So just perspective, just perspective for you guys. Just keep it real. Yes, you're all winners. So we'll see once the comic goes live if people dig it. You know, who cares? Who cares? I'm just doing this for me, right? Okay, so we got these guys. There's a Tupo and a, I can't say it. Spoilers. Alright, I need to give this guy just a little something that makes him look a little different. I was thinking of giving these guys some scars. Scars are cool. Scars, Jesop? Should we put scars on them? Yeah? Okay. That's what we'll do then, buddy. We'll put some scars on them. We'll just put, let's do the classic one like that, X. It'll go over his eye like that. Yeah, that's cool. Little scar action. And maybe we'll put like a little couple scars on his side. He's been through some bad news bears. Maybe those are like whip hits and stuff. Jesop, what's up, Papa Popo? Hey, what you doing? You want to come up here, go on camera? Say hi. What's that matter? I always thought the process videos would have the most views. For the most part, you know, like if it's sped up, I get it. I don't. If I see somebody's video that's like a bunch of hours long, I usually don't watch it either. You know. If I'm there while it's happening, it's a different story. That's why I think it is critical. We just did the. Did you guys get a chance to watch the Iron Fist speed video? I did it a little different this time. It's a little easier on me to make it, but I think that's why those ones are pretty important. If you want to build an audience through YouTube, anyway, just because more people are willing to watch things sped up. Like you saw, the average time was like 10 minutes, right? 10 or 11 minutes. So let's go even half of that, and that's where you'll start retaining people. And again, that's if you want people coming back to see just that. It goes all over the place. Yeah, this character here, that's Momo. That's Jesop's sidekick. Spicy little girl. Tentacle woman girl thing. I don't know. Alright, let's lower the transparency on these guys and get this dude in here. Now this guy's got a sad story too. Where am I looking here? Okay. I still haven't gotten comfortable drawing these dudes 100% yet. The Doblins. We'll get there. I'm gonna put like a patch of like the yellow spikes on here and like 2 over here. The reason I'm doing this, I'm trying to find little like creative things besides color, just to go like maybe there's something a little different about them. So when this guy is next to like other Doblins or something like that, you know who he is, kind of thing. Plus, I'm beating the hell out of these guys. There's a reason. It's all to pull on heartstrings. So his ear's all chopped up too. She is deplorable, eh? Witch. Maybe we can kind of have it look like he's holding her hand or her tentacle. They're scared. Oh, I did them backwards, damn. Okay, so let's make sure all the dots here are connected. Go around. Okay, should be good. Okay, so Momo is behind all of them. And let's put this, yeah, should be good. All right, let's put the opacity up, see how it looks. All right, cool. So stupid. All right, so they're there, and they don't know Jesop is here. Hey Dado, how's it going? A question. Sorry if I'm late. That's all good, buddy. Any updates on the color? It's funny that you guys keep asking with the color stuff in the question in the grayscale. I love it. Did you give a chance? Sorry, but did you give a chance to color only, no shading like old vintage comics? Good question, bud. So we are going full color. Lots of reasons. The main one just being uh, the crux of why I even started questioning if it should be that was time. And I figured out a solution for that most likely. And the time that it's taking me to do it isn't so dramatic that I can't do it. I was getting shaky feet because we're about to just go, all right, we're live, and now we can't go back and change stuff, right? Which is ridiculous. But so there was that, and the grayscale tends to, because it's not color, right? Theoretically, it goes quicker. So that's what there was with that. But the tone of the comic and everything like that, it's very cartoony. You know, I always like to think of it as a Saturday morning cartoon, even though we're gonna go a little bit past that. But the inspiration, anyway, is kind of like that line. So color makes sense. As for your question there, but just color no shade, I think that would be amazing. I just like the way the shadow looks, and instead of going with the highlights, that's why I stopped with the highlights because then it adds more time and makes it just a little more complex. But no, I appreciate your feedback there, pal. Thank you. Most popular webcomics are those done in the manga style, from what I've seen. However, Jessup does have a manga influence. So it is. It's just I think what we were saying in that stream too. We all kind of came to an agreement with it after I was looking at some manga online. Is that it's like it's not as easy just going okay. We're just gonna fill things black and white because then it just looks like that's what it is. You're just filling it in with gray, but you have to use everything you can to make it look better, right? So that means I have to add more ink, more line work, and stuff like that. That way, the grays really make it pop. And that's sort of going against the whole reason of why I was going against the color, or at least attempting to see if there was a solution instead of just using just color, right? That's all. Yeah, thanks, bud. I hope you guys like it. And it's all just for learning and all that stuff too, right? I think trust me, if it's up to me, color usually all the time wins. Manga in black and white and gray, like I love all art. You know, well not all art, but most comics I enjoy at least looking at. You know, and I guess it just has to fit with the tone. Again, it just goes back to story, right? If we're doing comics, it's about storytelling, not just awesome art. The art has to help the story, and the story has to help the art. And if color gets us in certain situations that black and white might not get there as easy. You know, like I enjoy special effects, explosions, and let's say Michael banging the hell out of stuff. You know, like this kind of thing, over the top. This is nothing, but there's a couple panels there that we had where Momo's shooting lightning bolts or casting a fire spell. Those things they just wouldn't read as awesome in just black and white. You know, and I just had to just be real with yourself. Just know what it is that like the whys again, right? Like I tell you guys all the time, get your whys under wrap and you'll understand. You'll start to, a lot of decisions sort of go away once you realize what the hell you're doing and why you're doing it. So I'm just going to make these a lot bigger. These don't read that well as like spine chunks to me. How's that look over here? Yeah, it's better. Oops, screw that up. All right, let's cut that, paste it. Hello, friend of mine. Pain no mind. The War of Art, it's such an awesome book. Okay, well, I thought I was going to get a lot more done than we did. Obviously, because of all the chit chat and stuff like that. Let me just stop the timer here. Man, it shouldn't take that long for where we're at. Unreal. So, I mean, there's not too much work left, but I'm going to have to hammer through this tomorrow and stuff. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for now, you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're right, V. I agree to the same thing there. Keep looking at super as a webcomic. It just makes more sense to go full on digital with my stuff. Cool. If that gets you excited and gets you working on some more stuff, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to say thanks again, once again, you guys. And I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow. Most likely not. There's some stuff I have to do. And weekends are precious. I need to really hammer out some pages here. So I don't know if I'll get all 3 pages drawn by tomorrow. But they got to be inked and colored by the end of next week anyway. So no matter what, we're going to keep moving forward and all that cool stuff. And I'll stream when I can. And until then, I'll see you guys soon. And if you're new to the chat and new to the stuff, we've been floating around 40 viewers since we've been streaming, which is great. So that means there's some new people here. Hope you enjoy it. If you like the show. If you like what you see and you like the communication and the talking in the community, by all means, click like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. You guys know how it goes. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.